nanapua o Hawaii Pupa ama hope o ka aina Iki mai ka elele o
Aloha caller, welcome to the program.
Hey, aloha, brother.
Aloha, Pilipo. Good to hear your
How we doing
voice.
today?
Oh, we're doing fine. Can you hear us? You have a radio, I assume.
Oh, it's terrible.
Is it raining a lot?
No, it's not raining a lot.
It's just a reception.
It's just horrible. The reception is no different than it was last week.
Oh, I thought you were going to complain about the quality of the program. But okay,
no,
kind.
No. The quality is always there on a cake. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
But no, it's just that the reception here basically is. I swear they jam you guys.
They're jamming me. Okay.
You know.
All right.
But I was out here in the yard, and I mentioned about since I moved out here. Basically, I've been so much so alive and so so. My good, I feel so good because I smell pakalolo all the time in the air. But today is a different tactic.
Oh, okay. What's the tactic?
They burn rubbish first, yeah, and then so when they're going to do the pakalolo, you're not going to know the difference.
Oh, is that right? Is that how they do it now?
It's a new maneuver, Yeah, I heard part of.
Wait, before you go,
about what Brother Leon has submitted.
Yes.
Proposed resolution. Yeah?
Yes.
Oh, I think that's appropriate. I mean, after all, they did so to recognize the so-called Native Hawaiian, which basically is maybe 20% of the population. And certainly they should recognize the other people, yeah?
That's right. And I think it tells a very important story. Let us move beyond race when we're talking about nationality, when we're talking about politics.
Yeah, because, being a national, that doesn't mean that you're a Hawaiian or a Portuguese or whatever you are, Samoan, whatever you are. All right? That's your political,
Yeah.
Your political nationality is be part of this country.
So I think that's part of the education of many people, to come to that appreciation.
Yeah. Because when there's a stigma, and when you start singing to the people about race, and and they see this and they see that, and people in Waimanalo or any homestead area, they have something, especially in today's world. Everything is so tight. The economy is so tight, this is going to it'll get worse, And then the people will look, the ones who have nots will look upon the ones who have, And even though you got a little homestead of 5,000 square feet, that what I got here, basically, they're going to say, why should they have,
Yeah, and then it becomes divisive,
Oh, yeah, and then that's basically where they want to put it,
Yeah.
The people in control want to put it in that arena. They don't want it to get out of that arena, because there's so much negativism to it,
Yeah.
And you keep it there. That way, all they got to do is you get the people fighting amongst each other. In the case of Hawaiians with 50% blood, and the other, the 80% with 49% of the blood.
And then
the natives fight with each other.
Yeah.
You just stay back and you enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you enjoy the fight. Yeah. That's what they're doing in Africa, in African countries. Sit back, let the natives fight, kill each other, and everything. Then we go in and we do urban renewal.
Yeah.
On that.
Yeah.
So it's important that people understand, get an understanding of what really took place, and when you say that we are Hawaiian nationals, we are the remnant, of what was before us, We did we didn't create it. You know, it was a gift, yeah, from Kamehameha III, yeah, of what his father was able to do, Kamehameha I.
Yeah.
You know, and if Kamehameha I was not, if he was unsuccessful, I'm sure there were other rulers who had tried something, yeah. But if he was not successful, then we have no grounds to stand on as Hawaiian nationals, yeah.
Yeah.
The ones with the blood, they can always stand on at least the blood itself, yeah, the koko itself. But things are getting worse, my friend, and all of a sudden, the Hawaiian becomes the victim among themselves, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's dangerous. That's dangerous.
Yeah.
Okay, brother. I'll be trying to listen to you tomorrow morning again in the blur fashion.
All right. I have one suggestion.
Yes.
Go buy new batteries. Okay, see you later.
Okay.
Take care. Ahoyo. And Brother Filippo calls us from Waimanalo. They think they're the national capital of the Hawaiian nation. But Brother Filippo, it's really Waianae, you know. That's what I heard anyway. But anyway, aloha to you and all our brothers and sisters out in Waimanalo side. Let's go to our next caller. Our telephone number here is 524-1080. This is Poka Lainui trying to give all of you a bad time on this Saturday afternoon. Aloha caller, welcome to the program.
Hi, Polga.
Yes, hi. Did I cut you off?
And this is so interesting. I'm trying to think of what would be a way to get this country, this nation, the Hawaiian nation, the Hawaiian back for us. Now, I was thinking on human rights grounds. Wouldn't that be a possibility? Because our human rights have been taken away from us, our sovereign human rights. Now, on a related issue, I just ran across this thing in the Homeless Law blog, and the UN to Sacramento, you're violating the human rights of homeless people. And what has been happening over there? They had a camp of tents and everything near the Sacramento River, and they were going about their business of trying to live and so on. And then the city says, "Oh, but you know what? You guys are in violation of sanitary laws. You guys are doo-dooing and shishing on the grounds, and that's a violation of the laws, defecation laws and all that."
Yeah.
So of course they started arresting them and saying that they couldn't do that, of course. But what happened? This is very interesting. The United Nations came in and said, "No, you guys, the city, at the minimum." Have to provide, as a human right, have to provide sanitary facilities for these people. And that means, so they are within the law. I mean, what it says they have to provide, access to. I mean, easy access. And that means 24/7 having a restroom nearby. And with running water and the whole works like they're supposedly have for everybody else. Anyway, this kind of goes all in kind of a circle. Did you see Tuesday's paper? They had a very big thing about the public restrooms are from Waikiki to Kakako and all that.
I saw the front page.
And unsafe they were.
Yeah, I saw the reference to it. I didn't read the article, but I did see it. Yeah.
Well, in a way, I would say that's almost a violation of human rights too, because they've narrowed the hours that these bathrooms are open, and so the other ones are so obnoxious and dirty and unsanitary at any one time that they kind of violate people. Not to speak of the other things that it just makes people want to avoid that too. So what do people end up doing is they have to go. They go behind a bush or whatever they have to do, and anyway. This is very interesting. I'm thinking this might be a good issue for the American Civil Liberties to take up. So whenever see, this goes full circle in a way with homeless folks, and they can't. I mean, you kick them out of the parks, you kick them out of the off the sidewalks, you kick them everywhere. I mean, you violate their right to basic human functions like sleeping and defecating. And so and you do not leave any kind of alternative for them. And I'm just thinking, even here in Hawaii, our nation has been, well, I don't know how to put it, defecated on, and our human rights have been very violated just by the fact that these people that didn't have, were not really meant to be here. Just kind of helped themselves to it and took over the political and economic system and everything else. And wouldn't that become just a basis on human rights?
Well, I think you can make a case. You can try to make a case. Oftentimes, however, remember that the human rights standards are sort of a guidepost, or they are what we call aspirational.
Right.
And although a country may have adopted a particular human rights standard, they consider it within the country aspirational, and then you have to have specific laws to execute on that particular aspiration. So it can be considered violation, but what is the result? What is the force, the sort of the mandamus that the courts can say, now you got to do this, and that's where you enter into that fuzzy area.
Yeah. Well, see, see, this is basically even more complicated being here in Hawaii, because technically we're not even we didn't even sign the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. But we did, because the United States of America signed that in 1948, and it puts things pretty clear what must be done, basic things that must be done for for people, but we are violating that
the Universal Declaration
with a lot of people here. Okay, what I'm trying to get to is, when are we going to ever? How are we going to overthrow this damn country from
in other words, you're kind of frustrated.
Well,
there's another word for it.
Finally, when you think of how entrenched, see, this goes beyond the United States border. This is.
Okay, David, I note that our time shows only 6 minutes more on the program, and I will try to answer all your many questions in a concise statement of 6 minutes.
Yeah, okay? I know I'm getting real broad, but I'll listen to you, and then tomorrow morning I hope I can get up in time.
All right, take care. Thanks for calling.
Yeah,
aloha.
Sure.
And he raises many very interesting questions. And it's very similar to what the Dalai Lama had said about Buddha having to give them this and give them that, and the continual praying to Buddha or praying to anyone. And the Dalai Lama is saying, not enough. We got to take some other action. And he was comparing science and technology, and how very relieved he was that as he had addressed his illnesses, he was very happy that they had the most modern science, not only the chanting and the praying to Buddha. It's the same with human rights. Human rights is not self-executing. And we can appeal to principles, we can appeal to these laws and the rest. In the Hawaiian concept, one would say, and what we call ki'i. Ki'i is a statue. Ki'i is a picture. The idea of ki'i, sometimes you just use one word to express a whole notion. And it would be not to involve in ki'i. Do not create statues or God elements in which you begin to pray and begin to concede your mana or your personal power and invest it into an object or into a cross or into a tiki or into something else. Because when you do that, what you do is you transfer that personal power that you have into something else or someone else. Whenever you transfer your acknowledgement of jurisdictional power to the U.S. government, then what you have actually done is given to them, conceded to them, the right to determine for you what is right and what is wrong. No, you already know what is right and what is wrong. And not only being satisfied with it, but to develop a system or way of learning to sit in the flow of power. Gandhi was a master at his preaching of what to do, learning to sit in the flow of power, simply not going along with evil, not going along with what is wrong, insisting on your rights, to remain a Hawaiian national, although at times it may get tough. People may look at you and try to discourage you or try to speak badly of you. But be firm in your position of what your human rights are and respect other people's rights. To be what some would say, I guess, a simple humanist. To respect every person. And you can quote Poka Lainui. Everyone is entitled to my opinion. Okay, I just read that somewhere. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion, okay? And we need to be serious about that. Human rights, I submit, is not going to change the world the way the world needs changing. What we need is a quantum leap beyond human rights to a place that we call human care. We need to care enough about humanity to be willing to participate ourselves in moving the systems, moving the world, to being more caring and respecting and employing the human rights that all people have. But simply to appeal to whatever gods or whatever ki'i we create, whether it's to a judge or whether it's to the policeman or whether it's to one another, and leave it there and say, I have done my part, is not adequate, and it becomes empty prayers. So we must all take our own part in pushing for greater human respect, human care, human rights of all people, and not just argue about our right to these things, but begin to employ these rights. Even our own human rights, we need to begin to demand and to stand in the way when you have forces that come against the application of these rights. I know I am talking very generally now, and perhaps in our next program we can be more specific as to how to employ these principles. Okay, I will be back tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock in the morning, I hope, and I hope you will be joining me on KWAI 1080 on your AM dial. I am Poka Lainui, and you have been listening to Hawaii Ahui Ho.
Kaulana nā pua o Hawaii, Kupa'a mahope o ka ʻaina, Iki mai ka ʻelele o ka loko ino, Pala a nunu me ka paka. Pane mai Hawaii moku o ke ave,
vila o ke kanaka. Aole makoa e mina mina I ka pu'ukala o ke au pua